Multiplying and dividing positive and negative decimals. Before we continue, let us try to recall the rules before when we try to multiply and divide numbers. So just like before, if the signs are the same, the answer is positive. So for example, if you have positive and positive, the result would also be positive, just like this one. If you have negative and negative, then the answer would also be positive, just like this one. Both are negatives, so the result would be positive. And the second rule, if the signs are different, the answer is negative. So for example, if you have a positive number and the second one is a negative number, the result would be a negative, just like this one. Or if the first number is negative and the second one is positive, so when you multiply or even divide, the answer would also be negative, just like this one. Actually, the rules that we followed before will also apply when we try to multiply and divide decimals. So let's have some examples. In here, we have negative 3.5 times negative 0.6. So, first of all, let's try to multiply 3.5 with 0.6. If you're wondering what happens now in our signs, we will actually be dealing with that later. But as of the moment, the sign will not matter actually when we try to multiply. Still, what we've learned in grade school will still apply until now. So first, we have to deal with 6. And we multiply 6 to 5. So 6 times 5 is 30. So we put 0, carry the 3. Then 6 times 3 is 18 plus 3 is 21. The next is to multiply 0 to 5 and 0 to 3. So 0 times 5 is 0. So we put it here below 1. 0 times 3 is 0. So, but we will now add, this would be 0, 1, 2. So, we count the number of decimals that we have in our given. That's 1, 2. So I repeat, this is 1, then 2 decimals. So from here, we have to move twice going to the left. 1, 2. So the decimal point is now here. So initially, our answer would be 2.10. But take note, we are dealing here with same signs. So negative times negative is positive. So our final answer is 2.10. Okay. Let's try another one. We have here 8.4 divided by negative 0.5. So what we need to do here is we will be using long division. So dividend is 8.4 to be divided with our divisor 0.5. Just like in our example number 1, Do not mind the signs yet. So what we will do now is we need to make or write the zero point 0.5 into an integer, or we say a whole number. So we need to move the decimal point once going to the right. So that will become 5. To make sure that the given will turn out to be an equivalent fraction, so we also need to move the decimal point in our dividend once going to the right. So that will become 84. So having 84 divided by 5 is just the same as 8.4 divided by 0.5. So now we will divide. So divide 84 with 5. 84 divided by 5 is 16. Then you multiply 16 with 5, you will get 80. Then subtract 84 minus 80 is 4. Since you still have a remainder, add a point 0 and then bring down 0. Don't forget to align the point on top and repeat the process. 40 divided by 5 is 8. Then 8 times 5 is 40. 40 minus 40 is 0. So 8.4 divided by 0.5 is 16.8. Now, we have to deal with the signs. We are dividing positive with negative. If they have different signs, negative. That means our final answer is also negative. Our final answer now is negative 16.8. Okay, let's try another one. We have here 0.45 times 3 times negative 3.1. So, it's multiplication. So, we will be doing the same thing. We multiply 0.45 by 3.1. We'll start with 1. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 0 is 0. And then, we have to deal with 3 now. We multiply 3 to 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry the 1. 3 times 4, 12 plus 1, 13. Then 3 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. Then we will have to add the 2. So this would be 5. 4 plus 5 is 9. 0 plus 3 is 3. This would be 1. Count the decimal places. We have 2 decimal places here and 1 decimal place here. So all in all, there are 3. So we need to move the point here 3 times going to the left. 1, 2, 3. So our answer as of the moment is 1.395. Now we have to deal with the sign. 0.45 is positive. Second one is negative. That means positive times negative is negative. So our final answer is negative 1.395. Now let's proceed to our next example. We have negative 35.75 divided by negative 2.5. The operation now this time is division. So we will be doing the same thing. We have to make sure that the divisor becomes a whole number. So to do that, if we have 35.75 as our dividend and as divisor we have 2.5, we have to move the decimal point once going to the right. And we have to do the same thing in our dividend to make an equivalent fraction. So you have now 35, 357.5 divided by 25. So let's start dividing. 35 divided by 25 is 1. 1 times 25 is 25. Then we minus 35 minus 25 is 10. And then we bring down. 107 divided by 25 is 4. Then 4 times 25 is 100. Then we subtract 107 minus 100 is 7. And we bring down 5. 75 divided by 25 is 3. And 3 times 25 is 75. And finally, we have a 0 as a remainder. Don't forget to align the decimal point on top for your final answer. So we have 14.3. Now, we will deal with the signs. This is negative. This is also negative. Negative divided by negative is positive because they have the same sign. So that means dividing a negative with a negative will turn out to be positive. And this is our final answer.